talk about what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me, you came here by yourself, right?
I did, yep.
All right, and what happened? You went to the Capitol, you just made your way to the front?
Yeah, so we listened to the president's speech over at the Ellipse in front of the White House, and we made our way down Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenues and walked up to the Capitol building, and by the time I got there, there were people already way up, climbing scaffolding up there, climbing up the stairs. There wasn't even any barricades to keep us out, like maybe there were before I got there, but they were gone by the time I got there. I wanted to see what was going on, so I just kept climbing as far as I could, and you just have to understand there were so many people out there, you could only move so fast. Like everybody's trying to get up close to the building, and you just couldn't, you couldn't even move for a lot of the time. You had to wait for people to kind of filter up as they, different people were, I don't know if they were opening new parts of the stairs or something, but eventually I made it up around the building, the Capitol building.
And what made you decide that you wanted to go inside the Capitol?
That's an interesting moment. I think I just saw it happen, and I was like, there's something going on here. This is a moment in U.S. history that it's not unlike the days of the beginning of the country. It's just there at some point there's enough illegal behavior and there's enough crimes against the Constitution being committed by the elected officials that, what are you supposed to do? Nobody in the courts will listen to, they won't even take a look at the evidence. They just dismiss all the election fraud cases on grounds that there's no standing or whatever. So at some point you reach a point and you just say, well, none of my institutions are working. Yeah. None of this, it's just, what am I supposed to do?
When you woke up this morning, you obviously had no idea that you would be storming the Capitol and breaching the Capitol building and going inside. And you shot some video in there, and
yeah,
we're gonna show some of that. How long were you in the Capitol?
Oh man, it seems like such a long time because you're just all senses are go and you're paying attention to everything. I would guess between 30 and 60 minutes total.
Wow. And how many people were in there?
In the hundreds that I saw, but it was just such chaos because there would be a group with me and a group of people that are blocked by a line of law enforcement officers, which, by the way, in most of my interactions with them they were professional, trying to do what they were, fulfill their duty, and the people in line, us were just, mostly respectful as you can be when you're kind of really pushing in on somebody's space like that. Right. But then there'd be us, and there's a line of police officers or whatever law enforcement, and then behind you'll see other people just running around. It's just absolute chaos, and the Capitol building is huge.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. You get in there and you're like, oh, now we're going to go, make our voices heard on, the floor of the Senate or the floor of the House or whatever.
You went all the way to the Senate floor.
I did. I did. And we said a prayer in there. There was a guy up there. Actually, there was one guy up there who just said we should pray. And so some of us did. And he was on his bullhorn microphone thing. And he just, consecrated it to Jesus and said, It is that, to me, was the ultimate statement of where we are in this movement. It's there's a flag that goes around out there, the Appeal to Heaven. Yep. And that was one of the original movements in what became the United States, is we appeal to heaven because we, as individuals, we're powerless. We've been betrayed by Congress. We've been betrayed by the judicial branch. We've been betrayed by our local governments, our mayors and everything. What are we supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good question. Well, how do you feel about what went down today?
I feel I'm kind of conflicted because you violate someone else's space. You know, you force your way into a building. In some ways, that really feels wrong. But whose space is that? That really does belong to us. And there's, you know, that should only be an absolute last resort. And you know, we'll see how. I mean, I don't know that, you know, maybe we shouldn't have done that, but it's just, you come to the end of your rope and you say, what else am I supposed to do? And you get swept up in a movement, and there's a bunch of people running and doing this, and it's just, all of a sudden you don't, it's not the logical mind that's working anymore. It's you're just reacting to things, and finally there's a chance that you can be heard and you can have your voice, patriotic voice for the Constitution, for the legitimacy of votes. Like, I mean, finally there's a chance, and I mean, we took that chance. And you know, that's, you know, God will judge us, you know, for what we did. And you know, I'm redeemed by the blood of Jesus Christ, right? Like, I mean, there's no judgment that stands against me. Perhaps I did something wrong, you know. I tried to be as respectful as I could while I was in there, you know, while still saying what I felt needed to be said. But what else what were we supposed to do?
Yeah.
What are Americans supposed to do? Like, just no one will even listen to us. None of these people in Congress, none of these people, like, they just don't listen. Well, hello, can you hear me now? Yeah.